First order of business is to have a presentation. We give periodic presentations and awards out to folks that do exemplary work in our community. Kurt, Monty, will you come up here a minute, please? So we give what's called Good Neighbor Awards. So we would like to present this to Kurt and Monica Rogers for having provided the youth of our community with the opportunity to learn excellent business skills as part-time employees. They are the only place in town where in the middle of a hot summer day, you can have a blizzard. In May, September each year, they have assisted the dairy industry by selling tons of milk products to the delight of children, adults, and furry friends. If you are in need of a quick birthday cake, Kurt and Monica are always accommodating. As you retire from the day-to-day operation of the Dairy Queen only. May you have many years of enjoyment. Thank you for serving our community for over 18 years, and congratulations as the St. James Good Neighbor. Thanks very much. Thanks for taking time to come. Okay, your consideration of approval of the minutes. Jean.
Second.
Hannah, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent items 5A and B, any questions?
So moved.
Nani,
Second.
Susie, any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimous. We'll have a public hearing. Shannon. Tax Increment Financing District 1 through 7 hearing for Central Farm Service Project. Let me see, we will recess the regular meeting, and now we will open the public hearing at 5:37. Shannon, welcome.
Thanks, Mayor. Mayor and members of the council, Shannon Sweeney from David Brown Associates. Well, about 2 months ago, we started the process to create a tax increment financing district. Under Minnesota statute, there are several purposes for which we can create a TIF district, we call it for short, that captures new property taxes associated with new development that occurs within a specific area that we identify within the tax increment plan. And we're able to capture those new property taxes, in this instance on vacant land, for a period of up to 9 years. It's actually longer than that, it's a total of 11, but when I build something this year, it doesn't hit the tax rolls for about 1.5 years. And so the actual increment capture is 9 consecutive years where we're capturing those new property taxes. We're intending to do that for the CFS project, the Central Farm Service project. They're intending to significantly alter their site with new construction and new facilities. We're expecting the market value to increase by a couple $1 million immediately, and perhaps more thereafter with subsequent phases of the project. But most immediately, they're expanding their feed mill on the property. We have obtained an estimate from the county assessor as to that increase in market value. We didn't just pull a number out of a hat, and it is roughly a couple $1 million. And so we're intending to capture those new property taxes, and it's city, county, and a little bit of school district tax. And we're intending to ultimately use those to assist in paying for the cost of public improvements that will be installed to serve that site. We're going to construct a new public street, and new public infrastructure is going to be extended, water, sewer, perhaps even storm sewer, to serve the property. And ultimately, we're hoping to use these property taxes in order to help fund some of those costs. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive comment regarding the plan. The plan itself has a budget. It has a map that identifies a specific property that we're including, which is the CFS property. The budget itself is something that we establish because ultimately we have to operate within that budget with regard to the increments we collect and how we spend those. We typically estimate those a bit high because ultimately we think there could be some additional expansion on the site. And by estimating a little bit high within our planned budget, you don't have to hire a guy like me to come back and do this again, hopefully. So we'll just be able to operate within the budget that's established within that plan if we have subsequent projects. The important thing to remember, however, is that we are capturing new property taxes or proposing to for that period of 9 years. Now recognize that the existing improvements on that site that are currently valued at about $1 million, and they pay property taxes on those improvements will still receive the property taxes associated with that $1 million in existing improvements, as will the school district and the county as well. So nobody goes backwards in this process. Nobody loses tax base as a result of creating this TIF district. They're foregoing the benefit of the new tax base that's added after the district is created. And again, that's 9 increment collections, term of about 11 years. So more than happy to answer questions. What the council will be asked to do this evening is adopt a resolution that provides for the creation of the TIF district or the adoption of the tax increment financing plan. You're not obligating yourselves tonight to do anything with regard to subsidizing a project. CFS is still taking bids on components of their project, and we have bids coming in on the public infrastructure. And before you see a subsidy agreement that formally obligates the city, we wanted to see those bids come in, have a complete understanding of project costs before we negotiate a final subsidy agreement. So that will come to you hopefully on the 20th at your next meeting, if not probably soon thereafter. But again, the action tonight creates the TIF district, so it creates the economic development tool that we're intending to use to help fund those public improvements. But at this time, we're not obligating you to do anything other than create the TIF district. So that subsidy itself will come to you at a future meeting. So more than happy to answer questions on the TIF plan from council and the public, as well as the resolution that's on your agenda for tonight.
Anybody have any questions? Anything you want to add, Andrea?
CFS has been very, very easy to work with, and I think this lends well to giving us an opportunity to create the infrastructure that's necessary to support their program and their development. So it's definitely a very worthy thing and very big project.
Very good. Anything else?
Well, I just add that the investment that they're intending to make, and as you may recall, and also on your agenda tonight, is a modified resolution for a grant application to assist in funding those same public improvements that's going to the state. But the estimates of their investment are $19.5 to $20 million in the community, so it's not insignificant.
Unbelievable. Very fortunate for our community, for the St. James community. Okay, anything else? Okay, are there anyone else that wants to speak at the public hearing to address this? Anyone else wants to speak at the public hearing? Anyone else want to speak at the public hearing? Okay. If there's nothing you want to add, we will now close the public hearing at 5:44. We'll resume to our regular council meeting. I ask for the council's consideration to approve the resolution of the adoption of the tax increment financing plan.
So move, dispense with the reading.
Motion by Nani, dispense with the reading.
Second, dispense with the reading.
Second by Sue, dispense with the reading. Are there any questions or discussion? Anything you want to add?
Sir.
All in favor of the resolution, please signify by show of hands. Opposed? Resolution passes 5-0 unanimous. Next step,
Next step, again, we'll be coming back to you with a subsidy agreement for your consideration at either the meeting on the 20th or likely soon thereafter.
very good.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your help on this, Shannon, Andrea. So we'll look forward to, and an overwhelming personally and publicly to Central Farm Service for their commitment and trust and investment continued investment, in the St. James community. We were eternally grateful and will be going forward to continue our partnership for many more decades. Okay, 12B. Let me see, plans and specs. You gonna speak to that? Who's gonna speak to that?
Mark.
Wastewater treatment. Oh, okay. Bolton and Mink, my boy, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, good, thank you. Yeah, so, I guess I sent you guys plans and specs for the wastewater.
New face and name for everybody.
Oh, okay. I'm Mitchell Swanson, I work for Bolton and Mink.
Thank you.
So yeah, I provide you guys with plans and specs for the wastewater treatment facility improvements. The pre-treatment building was not rehabbed during the last major project that was done in 2010, as I recall. So this building and equipment is kind of original, built in
1991.
So the equipment is getting old and in need of replacement. So we put together a project to rehab the building, get the equipment up to date, and we also had various add-ins. So that's when costs come in, if costs is above what you guys are willing to do, you can take or leave some items. One add-in is an additional blower, similar to the project that was done a year or two ago at the Irrigation building, just adding a third blower. Another item is painting the building inside and out, replacing all the electrical controls, getting that updated for everything aside of just the equipment replacing. And then fourth item is just moving a existing platform somewhere else. So schedule-wise, if you guys accept this, we'll get it out to advertise next week. We can post it to bidding processes as soon as tomorrow. If you're approved, advertise it next week, and then it's scheduled to have bid open on August 4th, at which time we will give you a recommendation on which bid to accept.
Is that enough time?
Yep.
Good.
For 4 weeks is standard.
Okay. And we're looking at PFA loan for this, Mark?
I would assume so, that.
What's that?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay,
This one is just a bonding loan, this one is the city one.
okay. Nothing through PFA is available right now. It's just plain whatever our bonds are. Okay, I just wanted to clarify because before we have been using previously PFA, Public Facilities Authority, low interest loan. Thank you for the clarification. Okay,
Gary, a few years ago, we had some improvements going out there by, what was it called Stantec or Stanek or something? When I was on council. So how are these improvements different than what we did then?
This,
we didn't do the main building, but Mark can probably answer that better.
yeah, out of that project that was done in 2010,
Mhm.
this building, for the most part, a lot of the main components that we're looking at right now were not touched. So like the main pumps in the building, actually the main pumps that pump everything in the plant up to the plant itself, those were not touched at all. And so those are vintage 1990, 1991. And they've been rebuilt many, many times over the years, but we just need to get those up to the speed and a little more efficiency. Updating the electrical on that will also help with efficiency. Bar screen that's in there is original to 1991. It's in dire need of being replaced or either replaced or completely rebuilt. So that's what kind of sparked this whole project. And of course, I mean, it kind of snowballs once you start getting into things or whatever, but that's why we kind of broke it up with some adder items in there, because I'm a little bit nervous with how bids are gonna be coming in with the way materials and stuff are, so we kind of went to bare bones, what absolutely has to happen. And then if it doesn't happen all at one time now, I mean, I'll still keep picking away at it, but it's one of those deals that if we're gonna go out for a project, we're gonna do as much of it as we can, it just depends on how expensive it gets, I guess.
Some of these things should have been looked at that time, or were
Absolutely.
they were supposed to be, it should have been, if it had been done correctly. Okay,
Well, only because I'm old along with Steve Sunday in 1990, we built this for a little over $6 million, and in 2011, we spent 10 or $11 million. So, not to reiterate, and the other thing is because of historically low interest rates, that's why we're continuing to look at this now. But yes, you're very cognizant of the money that we've spent, but we did not do the main buildings because the prices escalated so much in 2010 and 2011.
And one of the header items on too is that third blower. When I did the project 2 years ago now, I guess, when we did that, there was always the intent of putting that third one in, but I didn't finance it, or I didn't have that much to do all three at one time, so it was always gonna be a third one. And I'd like to get that one done as soon as possible, because I want all three of them to be exactly the same. So that's why we have that on there, but that one is not, I mean, absolutely, we could cut that off if need be, but we'd like to get it done. If it doesn't happen with this project, then we can try to get it done the next few years anyway, so.
So we'll be doing it, with this project, we'll be doing everything correctly, as it should be. Everything that should be replaced, looked at, we're gonna be looking at.
Everything that should have been done from 2010, even some of the stuff today, yes, it should be.
Okay, thank you.
What is the actual function of the blower?
It provides air to our aeration basins, which is the main process of our plant. So, I just in this last project here 2 years ago had replaced the original ones to 1990 in there. We had replaced and put some new style ones in 2010. Let's just say that they're not good blowers. So those are what are going to be coming out. Sad to say that the 2010 ones have not been functioning for about 5 years. Extremely expensive to fix. We're not the only ones that bought into that. There's a lot of wastewater plants around that time frame that had put in these blowers, and slowly but surely they're all pulling them off with the good ones in. So hindsight. So
Increase the efficiency then.
correct, yeah, and this gives me redundancy. I mean, I have minor redundancy now with only 2, but if I have that one that's broke down, I'm still down just operating one, so it's for redundancy. So if catastrophic failure, I still have air, which if I don't have air, I'm not processing the wastewater.
Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
Shannon, just as an question that would pertain to this, if we sell bonds, what have you seen in rates in the last 30 days or 2 weeks, whatever? Have you had any openings? Bid openings?
Yeah,
Okay,
I would say that, we're selling stuff over a 15-year term still in that 1.5% raise.
One-
range with-
1.5?
Yeah.
60 to 90 days ago, what was it?
Oh, it's been about that magnitude for,
Okay.
most of this year. We saw, you go crazy watching it every day because it does move
Sure,
a
yep.
little bit, but it's
Obviously.
0.1%, and that's it, that's all the movement.
In your crystal ball, or in your wisdom more so, would you say we would be better, like in not to wait 6 months, like 60, 90 days would be good, that interest rates are going to be inching up? Do you have a feel for that, or not really?
I believe that's likely, just because, you mentioned, you used the term historic lows earlier, and that is accurate.
Mhm.
And so, are they more likely to go up? Yes, they're more likely to go up. I would say once you have bids on this, you have a couple other projects that are either being constructed or in the bid process, and we can look at them all at the same time and figure out what makes sense. So,
Thanks, Shannon.
you're welcome.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to get.
Oh, no problem. I guess the only other thing I have to share is the engineer estimate of the cost on these projects. Just the base bid, we're estimating between 2 to 2.5 million. They include all the add items. We're looking at 3 to 3.5 million. And that includes engineering fees, legal, the on-site observation of construction, especially to project costs. Just those cases.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, council's consideration to approve the resolution for wastewater treatment fund improvements.
So move to special reading.
Gene, or second?
Second, dispense with the reading.
Paul, any further questions or discussion? Not all in favor signify by show of hands. Opposed? Resolution passes 5-0 unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Next is a resolution to approve the donation from the VFW of $2,000 toward our fire department.
I so moved.
Thank you.
Accept the donation.
Thank you. And dispense with the reading?
Oh, dispense with.
Good girl, okay.
Second, just for the reading.
Sue and Paul, any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by show of hands. Opposed? Passes 5-0 unanimous. Thank you. Next is a donation from the VFW for $1,000 for the fireworks that we had on July 4th that were between $6,000 and $7,000. A very great presentation of the fireworks display, excuse me. This is also resolution form.
So move dispense with the reading.
Donnie. Hannah.
Go for it.
That's what they're reading.
Okay, Gene. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor signify by show of hands. Opposed, carries 5-0 unanimous. Business Development Infrastructure Application.
Andrea.
Andrea? The concert singer, the band singer. Great presentation.
You asked me to sing.
We could, now that you brought it up,
Go ahead.
go ahead, thank you.
This was actually already approved, but there were some changes made, to reflect the accurate amount of output from the, energy fund. So just asking for for council to approve the updates on this resolution.
This also is in resolution form.
So move, dispense with the reading.
Paul,
Second, dispense with the reading.
Anna, any further discussion? Anything you want to add?
No, I have more later.
What's that?
I have more later.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. All in favor signify by show of hands. Opposed, carried 5-0 unanimous.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You should-
Just stay up there, Andrea. I think you're next again.
Am I?
Approve the resolution for the plat naming and street identification from our, we had planning commission meeting today.
Yes,
Go
so as
ahead.
part of this process with CFS, we are updating our plat for them. We're also, asking to rename or name a new city street, and then also name the plat. The plat will be called the Central Farm Services Sinclair Edition, and the city street will be named the Sinclair Court. So asking for your approval to, for the resolution to do those three things. And it was unanimously approved. There was some questions from the public after we mailed out to the 350-foot necessary mailing for that, but they were in approval, and so was the city, or the planning and zoning commission as well.
It was passed unanimous today by the planning commission as well.
So move dispense with the reading.
Nani,
Second, dispense with the reading.
Sue, any further discussion or questions? Can you add?
I would share that CFS is ongoingly excited to work with us, and they've been a pleasure to work with as well. We hope to have them here at a meeting soon. So I just wanted to express that from them, and it's just been a great working experience, and thank you for all of your support from the council as well.
To Merlin Kruger and his crew and directors are just superb folks, that's for sure.
You'll meet them soon.
All in favor signify by show of hands. Opposed? Resolution passes 5-0 unanimous. Thank you, Andrea. Sue,
Nothing.
Anna, Steve, Amanda.
I have two things. First, I want to say thank you to the fire department, the light department, and the street department for your effort and what you did on the 4th of July on your holiday in order for our community to enjoy the fireworks. They were amazing, and I was happy to be able to see them with my kids. Also, we have a park board meeting tomorrow night, and I don't have it on the agenda, but I'm going to bring it up as an add-on, just to update the park board meeting or park board on the mural green space and kind of what that could look like, just so that they're in the conversation. I don't know that they necessarily need to approve anything, but it could potentially be a park or green space that they would oversee. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and then hopefully we'll have something on the next agenda, if not the agenda after, with some solutions.
You're good. Is that it?
Yep.
Chris? Oh, Donnie?
No, the fireworks were amazing, actually. I think it's the best show I've seen, and I've heard so many people say how great they were, so fantastic.
I think we got one more year in our contract, don't we?
No, actually it ended in 2020, but I got it extended for 2021.
Because
So
of the pandemic, okay,
Yep.
so now we negotiate again for 3 years.
Mhm.
We usually do it 3 years at a time to get a discount. Okay, anything else, Donnie?
No,
Gene? Mark? Rick? EJ?
Chad?
Wait till I get there. There's one behind him. Chad? No, Linda Lou, the movie.
The movie we're holding over F9 Fest Saga. If you want to see a bunch of cars blowing up, and I mean, this is the movie for you. It's really something. PG-13.
Thank you for the in-depth report. Andrea? Tammy? Nice ceiling. Linda? Is that all done now or not?
The roof itself is complete, and they were gonna finish today, and then something happened, and they had to go someplace, so they got at least a day yet
Very good.
for the furnace.
Okay, very good. Thanks, everyone. Okay, motion to adjourn. Paul, Hannah, thanks. Have a great night, everyone.
Maybe not gin, maybe tequila.